Okay, so I just saw this movie called Waves, right, and it blew me away, so I'm going to talk about it because I haven't heard many people really talk about it. Like, it didn't get any recognition at any major awards, like the Academy, for example. But either way, I'm going to tell you why you should watch it, because this is one of the best movies that came out this year. Oh, last year, because it's 2020 now. But if I did see this film before I made my top 5 list of 2019, then it definitely would have been on there. Honestly, really, really high up there, because I really love this movie. But more specifically, I want to talk about one major aspect about this movie that I think should get more credit and more appreciation for what it really achieves than it's really getting, because from what I've heard from a lot of critics, right, is the soundtrack of this movie is like, oh, you know, they're just playing music, and, you know, it's good music, but that's kind of it. Doesn't really serve any other purpose aside from, oh yeah, it's good. Now, to provide the context to my viewing experience, I went into this movie pretty much completely blind. All I knew was that this film had a pretty interesting soundtrack, which was full of licensed music, with featured songs from artists such as Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, Kid Cudi, Frank Ocean, Chance the Rapper, Radiohead, and Animal Collective, alright? So hearing this, I was already like a bit concerned because it just sounds so chaotic to have all this music being played in just one movie. Going from like these classic melancholic Radiohead tracks where Tom York is just hanging out with his friends like, I woke up in sin, and having a Kanye West hip-hop banger in there being like, yo, I made this bitch famous, hot damn! You know, sounds very jarring. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of variety, but I had no idea how this was going to fit into the movie together and not feel awkward, like it's detracting from my enjoyment of the film because I suddenly feel like I'm watching a music video rather than a film. Which admittedly, the opening sequence does feel a bit like a music video when they're playing the Animal Collective Floridada song. But aside from that one instance, I was really surprised by how well used the music actually was. Sometimes it'd be both diegetic and non-diegetic. Even when it is diegetic, like when Tyler, who's the main character, is... I think the implication is he's blasting Kanye West in his car, which is the song I Am a God from his album Yeezus. And what I love about the use of this song, I Am a God, is the song feels so relevant to the character's mental state and captures his mindset so perfectly in this moment that the song feels like it's just coming out of his head and spewing out to everyone else around him, having the track I Am a God in a scene where Tyler is getting away from these domineering figures in his life, more particularly his father, which by the way I want to point out, I was really drawn into the characters in this film. They all felt incredibly realistic, which is because of the very well written screenplay, but also the casting of these characters and the stellar performances from these actors really helps elevate that material, making the movie much more impactful because of how much you actually care about these characters. So yeah, it's a big emotional journey, and this father character, while having the right intentions, is a very overbearing and domineering figure, but instead of this feeling like a two-dimensional stereotype kind of character, like, oh, he's the gruff dad, he's actually given a lot of depth. You know, there's more to his character than just like that one line. And all these characters, again, they all feel very human. And I love that when a film can get me to really care about characters that much that I want to actually like see more of them, see what they're doing. But anyway.
I said it before, I'll say it again. The world don't give a shit about you or me. We are not afforded the luxury of being average. Gotta work 10 times as hard just to get anywhere. I don't push you because I want to. I push you because I have to. Do you hear what I'm saying, son? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, this is the dramatic point when Tyler takes over from his dad for the very first time. And obviously the song I Am a God is very on the nose, as Tyler now feels very empowered. But it's so on the nose that it's kind of perfect. Like, I can't imagine any other song played in this sequence because it fits so perfectly in building up how, you know, chaotic this sequence is going to be, while also being thematically important. Honestly, if anything, this has taught me to probably stop listening to The Life of Pablo 24/7, because Tyler actually has a poster of The Life of Pablo. And actually, it's little details like that which really helps flesh out these characters, because the soundtrack to this whole movie honestly feels like a mixtape that the main characters would have and just regularly listen to. And that helps us to feel much more closer to these characters. And the song choices are so perfect in how they reflect someone who is in high school, because your average teenager isn't going to be banging Abbey Road right now. So all the songs feel appropriate for someone going through high school during this time. And for me personally, I'm a big fan of Kanye West and Frank Ocean and Radiohead. And as someone who's been going through high school, I have a lot of memories of listening to something like Radiohead to help me kind of get through the day or something, or I don't know, just chilling down. So from that perspective, I can see this movie definitely being very important for a lot of people in this generation. But again, the music does serve much more of a purpose than just being songs that you'll recognise. For example, I really love how the lyrics of certain songs are used to give a lot of meaning to the scene, like in the ending when we get the song True Love Awaits by Radiohead. And the lyrics help anchor the themes of the movie about forgiveness. And that scene with the music just really conveys those emotions so well. Like, the song just feels so true to the heart of the film. Now, there's clearly a lot of thought into which songs were going to be used in the film, and I really appreciate that the songs aren't just thrown there for no reason. Because in most movies with any type of soundtrack, they'll probably just throw in like a popular song in there because, again, they're popular. And if you're watching something with a song you'll recognise, or a popular pop song, you're like, oh yeah, I'm enjoying this slightly more than if this wasn't here, because I already have an attachment to the song, and that's all this song is adding to the movie and nothing else. But there's definitely a shift in the second half of the movie where we do get less music being used than in the first half, and I feel like that shift is important for the movie to kind of have more time to just slow down, let us reflect on what's happening. But we actually do get multiple Frank Ocean tracks towards the end, and with the Frank Ocean tracks, it really helps certain scenes feel much more dreamlike and idyllic, as opposed to the very loud Kanye songs like, again, I Am a God, being used earlier on. So it's kind of like this difference between the first half and the second half, created not only by its tone, but also the music, which also, by the way, helps set up the tone. Like, there's something about Frank Ocean being used that just feels very spiritual to the movie, like I'm calm. Whereas with Kanye West being used, I mean, I Am a God is not a peaceful song. If you haven't heard of that song, I like the song, it's a good song, you should check it out, but oh god, that is definitely something that's going to get you raving, in that hip-hop beat. It's a very good beat though, I love it. But yeah, aside from the soundtrack being used for its very, purposeful meanings, I can also see this film introducing a lot of people, some new artists, like Frank Ocean for example, and they might enjoy them, so that's good too, because not only do we have really good licensed music, but there's a great original score composed by Trent Reznor, who did the score for The Social Network, which I think is one of David Fincher's best films, and that was actually the film that introduced me to Trent Reznor, and therefore Nine Inch Nails afterwards. So for me, I think you can argue that there is some natural correlation between my music taste and the films I enjoy, but either way, I feel like if you don't have to love Frank Ocean to like this movie, but to me the music feels so essential to the core of the movie, just like how cinematography is to this film or any other film. I think it needs to be more appreciated than it simply being like, oh, they just got a bunch of licensed stuff and just thrown it in there, because there's clearly more purpose to it than just, okay, we got Kanye West, let's just throw him in there. Because obviously the Kanye West song is used because it fits the scene. But yeah, that'll be the end of this video, so leave a like and share if you enjoyed, and feel free to subscribe to, get notified whenever the next upload is, whenever that will be. And yeah, peace.